Russell Crowe reveals a shocking truth about Nicole Kidman's divorce from Keith Urban. Nicole warned Keith about his affair before everything fell apart. That's the bombshell allegedly dropping right now, and it changes everything we thought we knew about this divorce. For months, the narrative has been that Nicole and Keith simply grew apart after 19 years. That Keith was the devoted husband who toured too much. That distance slowly eroded their connection. But according to reports, Russell Crowe, one of their closest friends, someone who witnessed their relationship from the very beginning at that GDLA gala in 2005, is allegedly revealing something much darker. Nicole didn't just wake up one day and decide the marriage was over. She warned Keith. She confronted him. She gave him a chance before she walked away. And what happened next will destroy the image of Hollywood's perfect couple. So, what exactly did Russell reveal? What affair is he allegedly talking about? When did Nicole's warning happen? And does the evidence prove that Keith Urban wasn't the devoted husband at all, but the one who betrayed Nicole's trust? To understand why Russell Crowe's alleged revelation carries so much weight, you need to understand his unique position in Nicole and Keith's lives. Russell Crowe is not some distant celebrity acquaintance. He's been connected to Nicole Kidman for decades through their shared Australian heritage and Hollywood careers. They've worked in the same circles, attended the same events, supported each other's projects. Russell knows Nicole as a genuine friend, and he was there at the beginning. Russell attended that GDLA gala in January 2005, where Nicole and Keith first met. By all accounts, he witnessed their initial connection, watched their romance develop, and remained close to both throughout their 19-year marriage. This wasn't someone observing from tabloid reports. Russell allegedly had direct access to both Nicole and Keith. He saw how they interacted privately. He heard their concerns and frustrations. He witnessed moments the public never knew existed. Because when you've seen a love story from the first spark to the final warning, silence starts to feel like betrayal. That's what makes his alleged revelation about Nicole warning Keith so significant. Russell isn't speculating. He's reportedly sharing information he obtained through direct friendship. When a trusted confidant breaks silence about something as serious as infidelity and a warning, people listen. The question becomes, why is Russell speaking about this now? Close friends typically stay silent during divorces. So, if Russell really is revealing that Nicole warned Keith about an affair, something must have pushed him to break that code. Those discussing his alleged comments suggest Russell may be protecting Nicole's reputation. Because right now, the public narrative makes Keith look like the devoted victim, while Nicole looks like the one who walked away from someone who loved her. But if there was an affair, if Nicole warned Keith and he didn't change, then the entire story flips. Nicole becomes the betrayed spouse who gave her husband a chance. Keith becomes the one who destroyed the marriage. So, what exactly did Russell Crowe allegedly reveal about Nicole warning Keith? According to sources and reports circulating across entertainment platforms, Russell has made statements suggesting that Nicole confronted Keith about inappropriate behavior or an actual affair and that she explicitly warned him this would end their marriage if it continued. The alleged revelation is spreading through industry sources and entertainment channels. While we can't point to a single verified interview where Russell says these exact words on the record, the claim is generating significant attention because of how well it explains mysteries about the divorce. Here's where it gets complicated. The word warned can mean two things. Either Nicole discovered Keith was having an affair, confronted him, and warned him it would end the marriage if it happened again. Or Nicole warned Keith that his lifestyle, constant touring, time away, whatever he was doing on the road, was reaching a breaking point. Those analyzing Russell's alleged comments say the ambiguity might be intentional. By using warned, Russell can reveal serious issues without definitively accusing Keith of a physical affair, avoiding potential legal problems. What makes this significant is that Russell is breaking the code of celebrity friendship silence. The fact that he would allegedly speak about this suggests either he has Nicole's permission to share her side or he feels strongly enough about protecting her reputation that he's willing to risk his friendship with Keith. The timing matters, too. Speaking about this after the divorce is filed strategically shapes public perception. If there was an affair or inappropriate behavior, Getting that information out explains why Nicole walked away and why the divorce happened so quickly. To understand Russell's alleged revelation, you need to understand Keith Urban's touring lifestyle and how it created opportunity and temptation. Keith toured approximately 200 days per year throughout his marriage to Nicole. That's more than half of every year away from home, living on the road with his band and crew. Russell, having been in the entertainment industry for decades, reportedly understands exactly what life on the road means. The isolation from family, different cities every night, the access to attention from fans, the temptation that comes with fame and constant travel. Those discussing Russell's alleged observations say he noticed how Keith's lifestyle made fidelity extremely difficult, and Keith had already demonstrated vulnerability. Just 4 months after their wedding, he checked into rehab, showing his impulse control was compromised. Russell allegedly recognized the pattern. Addiction and touring lifestyle create vulnerability. The same forces that made sobriety difficult could also make fidelity difficult. According to sources familiar with Russell's alleged observations, he noticed Nicole becoming increasingly suspicious about Keith's behavior during tours, phone calls at strange times, Keith being defensive when asked about his day, emotional distance that went beyond just missing each other. Nicole is intelligent and perceptive. She would have noticed changes, the way he guarded his phone, vague answers about where he'd been, the difference between how he acted when he first came home versus after he'd been home a few days. Russell reportedly observed these dynamics. She would mention concerns about Keith's touring schedule. Not just the absence itself, but what he was doing during that absence. The worry allegedly went beyond loneliness. It was suspicion. The reality of Keith's career meant Nicole had to trust him completely for 200-plus days per year. But according to Russell's alleged revelation, something happened that broke that trust. Whether concrete evidence or suspicious behavior that crossed a line, Nicole reached a point where she could no longer trust Keith during those long absences. If Russell's alleged revelation is accurate, when did Nicole's warning actually happen? Those analyzing his alleged comments suggest the warning came between their June anniversary posts and Keith signing the custody papers in August. Here's the public record. On June 26, 2025, Nicole and Keith posted happy anniversary messages celebrating 19 years. Keith wrote, "Happy anniversary, baby," with a romantic photo. They looked fine. But just 5 weeks later, on August 1st, Keith signed the permanent parenting plan, giving Nicole custody 306 days per year, while he got only 59 days. Between those two dates, something happened. Something so big Nicole never looked back. What allegedly occurred? According to Russell's supposed revelation, that's when Nicole's warning took place. Something came to light about Keith's behavior, and she confronted him. Sources discussing Russell's alleged timeline suggest Nicole gave Keith an ultimatum during this period. She warned him that if the behavior didn't stop immediately, she would end the marriage. She gave him one chance, but clearly whatever Keith did in response wasn't enough. By August 1st, they were signing custody papers. The warning hadn't prevented the divorce. It had given Keith advance notice. Russell reportedly witnessed increased tension during this period. Industry events showed subtle signs of strain. Nicole's body language was distant. Keith's devotion seemed almost desperate, like he was trying too hard. The alleged ultimatum explains the divorce timeline. It explains why Keith signed custody papers, agreeing to minimal time without resistance. If he knew he was wrong, if Nicole had caught him in behavior he couldn't defend, fighting would mean prolonged proceedings where embarrassing details might emerge. Better to accept consequences quietly. It explains why the divorce happened so quickly. Once the warning was given and Keith's response proved insufficient, Nicole moved forward decisively. No long separation, no public statements about trying to work it out, just clean, efficient proceedings. It explains why both waived spousal support. When one spouse has moral high ground, they have more leverage. Nicole could dictate terms, and Keith had little room to argue. What specific evidence or behavior changes did Russell allegedly witness that convinced him an affair occurred or was imminent? Those discussing Russell's alleged observations point to several key changes in Keith's behavior. Phone secrecy. Keith allegedly became much more protective of his phone around Nicole, taking it everywhere, turning it face down, being defensive if Nicole asked who he was texting. For someone married 19 years with presumably nothing to hide, this guardedness stood out. Defensive reactions. When Nicole would ask normal questions about Keith's day during tours, Keith allegedly became defensive rather than conversational. The change suggested he felt accused even when she was just asking routine questions. Emotional distance. Russell reportedly observed that Keith seemed emotionally unavailable even when physically present, like his mind was elsewhere, going through motions without genuine engagement. But here's where it gets interesting. Russell noticed that Keith's public devotion speeches became more frequent and effusive, right around the time Nicole's suspicions increased. At the AFI ceremony in April 2024, Keith gave that emotional tribute about Nicole saving him from rehab. "Nicole, my wife Nicole Mary is here tonight. I love you, baby girl. 4 months into our marriage, my addictions that I had done really nothing about blew our marriage to smithereens, and I went into the Betty Ford Center." Nick pushed through every negative voice, I'm sure even some of her own, and she chose love. At the time, it seemed touching, but according to Russell's alleged interpretation, those over-the-top displays were overcompensation. Keith was performing devotion publicly while behaving questionably privately. This is a common pattern with infidelity. The guilty party often becomes more effusive in public declarations, almost trying to convince themselves and others of feelings they're betraying through actions. The bigger the public worship, the more it can serve as cover for private betrayal. Russell reportedly observed this disconnect. In public, Keith couldn't praise Nicole enough. But in private moments, when he thought no one important was watching, the devotion wasn't as evident. Russell reportedly saw Nicole backstage in tears after one of Keith's shows. A moment suggesting the pain went deeper than anyone knew. Nicole allegedly confided specific concerns to Russell about Keith's touring behavior. Not just loneliness, but specific incidents that raised red flags. A fan photo showing inappropriate closeness. A story from Keith's crew that didn't match what Keith told Nicole. Small things that individually might be explained away, but together formed a concerning pattern. So, if Russell is allegedly breaking that code, something significant must be motivating him. Those analyzing his alleged comments suggest Russell is protecting Nicole's reputation. Right now, the public narrative makes Keith look like the devoted victim, while Nicole looks like the one who walked away from someone who adored her. If there was infidelity, if Keith betrayed Nicole's trust, if she warned him and gave him a chance, that completely changes the narrative. Nicole becomes the betrayed spouse who handled things with dignity. Keith becomes the one responsible. Russell allegedly believes Nicole deserves to have her side known. The loyalty question is interesting. Is Russell betraying Keith's confidence or honoring Nicole's truth? Those discussing his motivations suggest Russell has chosen Nicole's side. The timing is strategic. It shapes how people perceive the split while legal proceedings are underway. Those familiar with celebrity divorce dynamics note that often a close friend will leak information the divorcing party wants public, but can't say themselves. Russell's alleged revelation might be Nicole's way of getting the truth out without personally accusing Keith. Does the evidence from the actual divorce support Russell's alleged revelation about infidelity? The divorce terms align remarkably well with what you'd expect if infidelity was involved. The clean, quick break. Divorces involving infidelity often proceed faster because the betrayed spouse has moral high ground and the guilty party has limited negotiating power. Keith's minimal custody. He agreed to just 59 days per year, 17%. Most fathers fight for more. Keith signing off on such limited involvement suggests he knew he couldn't argue. If Nicole had evidence, fighting would mean prolonged proceedings where details might emerge. The prepaid child support. Keith paid everything in one lump sum rather than ongoing payments. This suggests he wanted a clean break with no ongoing contact or accountability. No fight for different terms. Keith didn't push back on anything. This level of cooperation typically indicates the signing party knows they don't have leverage. The speed of Keith's signing. Just 5 weeks after their anniversary posts, he was signing legal documents. That rapid timeline suggests something dramatic happened. This wasn't love lost. It was trust destroyed. Everything looks like an infidelity scenario. The betrayed spouse, Nicole, dictated terms. The guilty party, Keith, accepted consequences without resistance. Proceedings moved quickly to avoid public exposure. That power imbalance is exactly what you'd see if Nicole had caught Keith in behavior he couldn't defend. She warned him he couldn't or didn't